Hey, Rob here for Quadratec.com. Welcome to another edition of Jeep News. Of course, today we are talking about none other than the thing that has the entire automotive industry buzzing, and that is, of course, the release of the Toyota Prius 4x4. I can't do it, guys. I can't even get through it with a straight face. April Fools. Of course, we are here today to talk about the Gladiator. Jeep has lifted the media embargo that was set in place a few weeks ago at their press event, and with that comes official pricing from Jeep. Now that happened over the weekend. Just this morning, Jeep updated their website with a full builder that not only includes all of the different trim level pricing, but also includes pricing on every single available option on the Gladiator. And that is what we are going to take a look at today. Now later this week, the official order banks will open for the Gladiator on April 4th. Of course, National 4x4 Day. What better day to launch the Gladiator on than April 4th? And with that, Jeep will have a special, very limited edition Gladiator available that you can only order on April 4th, and that is going to be the all-new Jeep Gladiator Launch Edition. Now, what you're getting in that Launch Edition is basically a fully optioned out Rubicon. So of course you're going to get all the standard Rubicon features, you're going to get all the available options, you're also going to get a few very special Launch Edition upgrades. You're going to get a Launch Edition tailgate badge that is going to number your vehicle one of 4190. That's right, guys, limited to 4,190 vehicles. If that number doesn't start triggering anything, it of course is a little Easter egg from Jeep. 419 is the area code to Toledo, the birthplace of the Wrangler and the Gladiator, and that is why they are releasing 4,190 limited edition, Launch Edition Gladiators. You're also going to get 17 by 7.5 inch mid-gloss black aluminum wheels, only available on the Launch Edition. And finally, you're going to get a leather-wrapped instrument panel with Rubicon red stitching, guys. Only available on that Launch Edition, not available anywhere else. Of course, on the JL, the Sahara does get that leather-wrapped dash, but not with that Rubicon red stitching. Now, for all of those great options and the very limited edition Launch Edition Gladiator, there is a price tag attached to that of $62,310. My jaw hit the floor when I heard that. I'm sure a lot of you out there are going to do the same thing. However, if you've got the cash laying around, this could be a very cool piece of history to own and put in your garage. Now, the bigger numbers that I think a lot of you out there are going to be very curious about, I know I was, of course, are going to be on the standard trim level Gladiator. So let's go ahead and get right to those numbers, starting with the Sport coming in at $33,545. A net price after you add in destination charge of $35,040. And I think that is a perfect number to really give the rest of the mid-sized truck market a run for their money. Of course, I'm talking about the Ranger, the Tacoma, the Colorado. The Gladiator has a ton of best-in-class features over top of those other trucks. It is the only truck in that market that is going to come with standard four-wheel drive and, of course, a solid front axle, making it a beast off-road just like the Wrangler JL. Now with that, you're going to get some standard features, steel wheels. You're not getting a lot of power options, so I think the more popular option for most people is to jump up to the Sport S model, which is going to get you an MSRP of $36,745 or a net price of $38,240. And with that, you're getting standard power windows, power locks, power locking doors and tailgate. You're also getting standard aluminum wheels, as well as some other available options that you cannot even put onto the base Sport model. Now the next up from there is of course the Overland model. Jeep has done away with the Sahara model on the Gladiator. Instead, they're going with an Overland. However, they are very comparable as far as the options you're going to find on both. And for the Overland, we're seeing an MSRP of $40,395 with a net price of $41,890. And finally, of course, the Rubicon trim level starting at $43,545 with a net price of $45,040. And with that, of course, we are getting the 33-inch tires, the standard disconnecting front sway bar, locking front and rear axles, Rubicon suspension with those Fox shocks, a ton of great options packed into the Rubicon Gladiator for a starting price of $45,040. Now, Like I mentioned earlier, the builder is up. You guys can head over there, play around to your heart's content. I know I've messed around with it a few times already today. I'm probably going to go through it a few more times. But what I want to do now is check out some of the pretty popular options that I think a lot of you guys out there have been very interested in, and show you how I think I might build a Gladiator that might end up in my driveway very soon. So I'm going to start with the Sport S. Now, I did already go through the builder and price out a Rubicon. It came in about $51,000 with the options that I threw at it. And I'm going to tell you why I think the Sport S with some of these options might be a better option for you guys. So if we start with the builder here, of course, we've got the standard 3.6 liter V6. You've got your optional 6-speed manual or 8-speed automatic transmission here. That adds that same $2,000 price tag as we saw in the JL. I'm going to be throwing that 8-speed automatic onto the truck. I think that I would be using that truck as both a daily driver, heading down to the local home store, picking up some plywood, and also taking it off-road. And I know for my personal comfort, I want that automatic transmission on there. You also have a track lock anti-spin rear differential for $595. I think I'm going to skip that for right now, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. There are 2 gear ratios available on the Sport S, 373 or 410. Now the 410 does require some additional options. It's going to require that max tow package that we've heard a lot about previously. So if we jump over to packages, we can check out some more on that. The first package we see up top here is the 7-inch radio group. Now with that 7-inch radio group for $995, you're going to get the 7-inch touchscreen display. You're also getting the air conditioning with automatic temperature controls. Definitely a nice feature to have in there. You're getting the larger 7-inch cluster on the dash. And then you're getting the Uconnect, the Apple CarPlay, the Android Auto, all very nice features. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw that 7-inch radio group on there. That's definitely an improvement over the standard 5-inch radio. Next up, we see the 2 trailer packages. Now there's a trailer tow package for $250. There's also a max tow package with the 410 axle ratio for $995. Now if we check out the trailer tow package, you're going to get that 240 amp alternator, you're getting a class 4 receiver hitch, you're getting heavy duty engine cooling, and that trailer hitch zoom feature, which is a cool feature on the backup camera to help assist you whenever you're hooking up a trailer. Now if we jump over to the max tow package, this is where we're going to see the same 240 amp alternator. We're also going to see that class 4 receiver hitch, the heavy duty engine cooling, but here's where we're going to see a ton of additional value that I think makes spending an additional $750 totally worth it. We're also going to get 2 45/75 R17 all-terrain tires. You're getting that 410 axle ratio, same ratio found in the Rubicon, but in addition to that, guys, you're also going to get the same wide track heavy-duty Dana 44 front and rear axles found in the Rubicon. Now, they are not going to come with the lockers. You're not going to get the sway bar, but you're getting the wide track heavy-duty axles. Now, I'm going to come back to that in a little bit. You're also getting the molded-in color fender flares that you would find on either the Overland or similar to the Highline style fender that you'll find on the Rubicon. This is the standard height flare, but it is that molded-in color flare, which looks very nice. All of that adds up to what I think is a fantastic option at only $995. Now, like I mentioned, I think this is a great option package to add because you're getting those wide track axles. Now, I know for me, and what my plans might be if I go out and get a Gladiator to put in my own driveway. So let's talk about if I purchased a Rubicon straight off the lot. Well, yeah, you get 33-inch tires. Yeah, you get the Rubicon suspension with the Fox shocks. You also get the locking front and rear differentials geared with 410 gears. I know that, of course, at some point down the line, I'm going to be throwing larger tires on there, probably a 37-inch tire. So there goes those 33-inch tires. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to need to re-gear those axles. Well, there goes that 410 gearing. And if I'm in there putting new gears in, well, guys, I can throw in a set of lockers in the front and rear as well. In addition to that, if I'm putting 37-inch tires, well, that means I'm getting rid of the factory suspension and those Fox shocks that I'm paying for. So by leaving all that on the table and going with a Sport S with a max tow package versus a Rubicon, you can save some substantial money up front. Now let's go through some of the other options here and we'll compare them at the end. The convenience group comes in at $595, gives you those universal remote options, whether you've got a gate opener or garage door opener, can come in very handy. The cold weather group comes in at $995. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm purchasing a $40,000 vehicle, you better be certain that I'm going to have heated seats in that vehicle. Now we see the active safety group at $995 and the adaptive cruise control at $795. First time we're seeing that in a Jeep, a Wrangler or Gladiator vehicle here. I think I'm actually going to leave those out. Personally, I like to have a little bit less technology in the vehicle when it comes to all the collision avoidance and safety group. Those are great features to see, and if you're someone who's going to spend all of your time on road and want the most safety features possible, definitely throw those in there, but I know for me, I'm just going to leave those out right now. The auxiliary switch group. Now this is a standalone option on the Gladiator, whereas it was part of the towing group on the JL, and that means the price came down. For only $295, we can get the auxiliary switch group, which gives us those 4 switches right on the dash. We can program them through the radio. We can do all sorts of options with those, whether it be lights or maybe even powering lockers down the road. The smokers group for $30, and then finally the cargo management group with the trail rail system is only $895. And with this option, well, we're seeing that cargo trail rail system on the bed sides and against the back of the cab. It's going to give you a lot of options for securing your cargo, but you're also getting a 400-watt power inverter and that in-cargo bed 115-volt AC outlet. That's definitely going to come in handy for powering up some stuff in the bed of the truck, and you're getting the lockable rear underseat storage. So I think another great option pack for less than $900 that we can add on. Now, if we move on to the exterior here, we've got some color options that are different than the JL. I will tell you out of the gate here, black, granite crystal, billet silver, firecracker red, as well as bright white are going to be available up front. And then the sting gray, hydro blue, pumpkin metallic, Gator Clear Coat, and Gobi Clear Coat are all going to be late available colors. You're going to have to wait a little bit for those if they interest you. Moving down, we've got a dual top group for $22.95. That's going to include the Freedom top, but it's also going to include your premium black Sunrider soft top, which is a nice add-on there with the dual top group. Now, if you want just the premium soft top, well, you can add the premium black Sunrider soft top over the standard soft top for an additional $595. And finally, we have just the standalone black Freedom top available in the Sport S for $1195, which I think I'm going to be adding on to my build up here. With that hardtop being a little bit smaller than the hardtop on a JL, I think it's going to be a little easier to manage, especially when you get those Freedom panels out of the way. So I know personally I'm not going to mind putting that hardtop on and off on those good weather days, and I just like the look of the hardtop on the truck a little more than the soft top. And we move on down. Of course, we've got some side step options here for $695. I'm going to be leaving those off. We've got the roll-up tonneau cover straight from the factory, which is a great option at $495. I'm going to be leaving that off. You've got the spray and bed liner for $495, another great option. However, I talked about modifying the Gladiator down the road. If I do anything in the bed of the Gladiator, any kind of drilling through the sheet metal, I'm going to want to coat that after the fact. So again, I'm going to leave that off. Really, the name of the game here, guys, is keeping that price low and getting the most capable Gladiator that I can. Now, you've got some options for cloth bucket seats, standard on the Gladiator Sport S. Of course, if you step up to the Rubicon, you're going to have optional leather seats. We're going to add some cost. Moving down, we see that wireless Bluetooth speaker, an option for $295. Now, while that's kind of a cool option to have that Bluetooth speaker built right into the back of the Gladiator, I kind of think it's a little bit gimmicky. There's plenty of other speakers available on the market for a whole lot less than $300. And again, I'm going to be leaving that off. Now, you do have the Alpine Premium Audio System for $1295. Comes with that full 9-speaker system, including the rear subwoofer and a 552-watt 12-channel amplifier. A great option to really give you a better audio system in the Gladiator. But I think right now I'm going to be leaving that off. I'm sure Alpine is going to have some upgrades available for us down the line. We've seen plenty from Alpine as far as upgrades for the JK and the JL. And I would find it hard to imagine that they're not going to have a ton out there available for the Gladiator as well. Moving down, we see, again, some familiar options that we saw in the JL, the soft top window storage bag, the all-weather slush match, the hardtop headliner. Again, leaving all of those off for right now. And that brings me to a grand total of $46,005, guys. Just over $46,000 for a Gladiator Sport S model with that max tow package, giving me those wide track, heavy duty Dana 44 front and rear axles, 410 gearing, the maximum amount of payload and towing capacity, which I'm not honestly concerned about that. What I'm really looking for is to get the most capable Gladiator that I can. Now, I mentioned earlier I priced out that Rubicon. It came in at just over $51,000. So here we're seeing a savings of over $5,000 right up front. I know I could spend $5,000 on 37-inch tires, a suspension, lockers for the front and rear, a electronic disconnecting sway bar, and all of that is going to give me a very capable Gladiator that I can customize with whatever gear set that I choose for still less than a comparable Rubicon model off the dealership floor. So why don't you guys let me know your thoughts on how I built my Gladiator. Do you think that's the way you're gonna build up yours? Would you rather have all of that straight out of the factory in the Rubicon? Are you someone who you think may leave the stock 33-inch tires on there? Are you gonna be upgrading your new Gladiator as well? Let me know below, guys. I definitely wanna hear from you. I wanna know what you're thinking. What are your thoughts on the pricing of the Gladiator? I know all of this is very exciting, and I can't wait to see how fast those limited Gladiator Launch Editions go for on 4x4 day. That's all I've got for right now. Definitely make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you're sure to catch all of the latest Jeep news as well as plenty more. Until next time, guys, I'm Rob. I'll see you out on the trail.